Hey guys, Chuko Blago here. So, airdrops. Okay, 2025 has not been good for airdrops. Okay, and we've seen a series of postponement. Everybody citing the condition of the market, and I'm wondering, what has the condition of the market have to do? What does the condition of the market have to do with you rewarding people for the task and the time spent in testing out your service or using your service or your product? What does that have to do with it? Okay, now if we go back to in time to when before airdrops became a thing. Okay, there used to be what is called bounty. Okay, there was bounty for referrals, there was bounty for debugging codes. There were different bounties, okay, going on then, especially in the Ethereum space when Ethereum was just coming up. And there were things like faucets for Bitcoin faucets, Dogecoin faucets, Litecoin faucets. Okay. And now that we're involved, thanks to Uniswap, because Uniswap was the first that realized the potential of bounties and turned into airdrop. Basically, airdrop means you are rewarded or something is airdrop to your wallet or mapped to your wallet address. Okay, so and then what it was is this: instead of spending millions of dollars running adverts to attract users, okay, Uniswap opened their platform and encouraged people to use it without mentioning anything about airdrop, without mentioning anything about reward to anybody. Okay, and because then the ecosystem was in need for a decentralized process, because people like me who are developers of projects, we're looking for platforms where we can list our coins easily and provide liquidity, and the platform will manage the liquidity, which is what is called an AMM, automated market maker. Unlike what you see in centralized exchange, where there has to be a market maker, and if the market maker does not deliver, there will not be liquidity in the market. But AMM system manages the liquidity and ensures that people can buy and people can sell at any time, regardless of how small the liquidity is. So Uniswap rewarded users, people who use the platform from the beta phase to the version 1 and then the version 2 when the airdrop was done. Then you have the likes of 1inch following the same path. Then copycats came. Then you now have the YDS, which for months or almost a year denied that they were doing airdrop. But yeah, some people still participated, because then a single transaction on Ethereum network cost you nothing less than $50 to $70 per transaction. So for you to use the YDS, then they later rewarded the community members. I think people were getting like $700 or thereabout, okay, for the YDX. So now, bringing us to today, when you have the Telegram airdrops, okay. Now the difference between today and the airdrops we have before is that the airdrops we have before don't let you know that airdrops are going on. People were just speculating that if you use this platform, they might reward the users. Just like I was right about 1inch when it was Moonswap, before they now integrated Moonswap into 1inch completely. Okay, so, and I was right about the YDS, okay, because I knew they were one of the big guys that was going to do the airdrops. So it was basically speculation. Those platforms were not announcing that they were going to do airdrop. Now, fast forward to today's Telegram airdrops, where they told you that you're going to be rich. Okay? That we're going to be rich, that they're going to reward you. So, I believe that the airdrops of today shot themselves in the leg by letting people know that they are doing airdrops, by letting people know that they can become rich from airdrops. And by setting that standard, what do you expect? You expect money-hungry people to come, and people are willing to do anything, cheat, use bots, spend money, do all kinds of things, create multiple accounts just to get the airdrop. And now that you've seen that at the end of the day, there is no value, because those people move on to the next one. Because what you are attracting are not users, what you are attracting are just people who are money-hungry. Yes, that's what it is. Okay? So at the end of the day, you guys realize that you messed up, and now you're starting to do correction, which has now led to people to start losing interest and trust on airdrops. So What am I saying? What we have today is not airdrop. It's not airdrop. Okay? Airdrop is meant to be a reward for doing X, Y, Z. It has nothing to do with the market condition. If I, Chokobilago, use your platform, do everything, and you give me a reward in form of a token, that reward is, okay, my reward for using your platform. Now, whether that reward is worth $1,000 or $10,000 shouldn't be the business of the developer. The most people need to understand it. But because the developers or the project managers or whatever it is have already opened the amount and advertised financial freedom, rich, wealth, and because they've done all these things, people overreact and people get mad when they are given peanuts. The worst of them all was Zoo. Because in Zoo airdrop, it was around spending money, because you can't go far if you didn't spend money. And after people spent money, they didn't list very well. People lost money. But assuming Zoo just did their airdrop without talking about rich, without trying to make it about a money grabbing situation, and people can easily just trade, you just play the game. I get what I'm saying. People can play the game. When you log in every day, there is daily bonus for you. There was no hint for you to spend money, just like you have with Call of Duty. Okay, Call of Duty, people spend money on Call of Duty, and Call of Duty do not promise them wealth. Yes, people buy skins, people do a lot of things, people do pay to win, but Call of Duty never promised them wealth, and never will. And so those people take comfort that they want to play the game and spend the money without expecting anything in return. And that is how these games have to do it. That way you attract only users to your platform. Now, at the end of the day, if you choose to reward those users, you reward them not because of how the market is, but because that they deserved it, because by being the first people to use your platform, by testing out your platform, enabling you to be able to see the results or how the performance of your game or your solution or your product, and then you reward them for helping you figure out your service. That is what airdrop is. So if you're a developer out there and you're watching this, okay, you guys should start doing the right thing. If you want to launch a product or a service, allow people use it and reward them, but do not promise heaven and earth, because when you disappoint on that promise, when you fail on that promise, the backlash you will get on your brand won't be worth the stress. So you guys should start doing the right thing. And for those who are participating, let me say this again: airdrop is not a means for you to get wealthy. Airdrop is not Ponzi scheme. Okay, it's a reward for testing out a platform, and at the end of the day, whatever the platform gives you, you take. Okay, and do not get money hungry and go and start spending money up and down and later start claiming that you are scammed. Nobody forced you to spend money. Yes, I understand that some of the airdrops promise you heaven and earth, but the right thing is you don't spend money unless you wish to, and not because they told you to, and not because they promise you heaven and earth, because every single airdrop that promised heaven and earth has so far disappointed. So learn this lesson and learn it today. Only participate on airdrops that is valuable to you, in terms of whether you're playing game or whether you are using it to do trading and store your coins and trade. Okay, only use those wallets that offer genuine services. Okay, and also you do it because you want to, not because they are planning to do airdrop. I hope my message is clear. Until I see you guys next time, take care and bye for now.